Okay, let's get into this. Our deep dive today takes us to Sapporo in Hokkaido. Now, this is a place most people think of as, beautiful, peaceful, great food.
Right, stunning scenery.
Exactly. And it actually has one of the lowest crime rates in Japan. We're talking like 4.5% compared to, say, New York City, which is up around 46%.
This is a huge difference.
Yeah. And that backdrop of, peace and order is precisely what makes the story we're exploring today so deeply shocking. It sent ripples across the whole country.
You're absolutely right. This case, it's really complex, like a maze. So our goal today is basically to pull back each layer step by step. It's a recent murder, very high profile. And it all kicked off with a discovery that was just, gruesome. It really shook Sapporo's quiet reputation. So we'll piece together the events, look at the people involved who are quite perplexing, and tackle those chilling questions that are still hanging in the air. Hopefully give you a clear picture of what happened.
So the scene then. It's a love hotel in Sapporo, July 1st, 2023. A hotel employee gets concerned because, a guest hasn't checked out.
Standard procedure, really, if someone's overdue.
Right. So they enter the room, and what they find is just horrifying. A naked man's body in the bathtub, covered in blood.
Wow.
But the detail that just screams premeditation, the really chilling part. The body was decapitated. The head wasn't there, missing from the scene entirely.
Gone.
Yeah. It was immediately obvious the killer had taken it with them.
And, that's where the problem started for the police right away. These love hotels in Japan, they're built for discretion, right? So they don't usually ask for ID when you check in, not if you're over 18. So identifying the victim, impossible at first.
Right. No wallet, no phone.
Exactly. No personal belongings left behind. And adding to the complexity, the crime scene itself was apparently spotless, meticulously cleaned. No fingerprints anywhere.
Wow. So suggesting careful planning.
Definitely. A very organized, very calculated act by whoever did this.
It took some time, but the victim was eventually identified. Ura Hitoshi. He was 62, an office worker, getting close to retirement.
And a family too, right?
Yeah, a wife, grown kids. And by all accounts, people described him as pretty sociable, like going out, having a drink, visiting clubs, that sort of thing.
And it's worth saying again just how weird this kind of crime is for Sapporo. That low crime rate, the 4.5%.
Yeah.
It's partly because of really strict laws, gun control, plus good security systems everywhere. So a violent, bold crime like this, it's a real shock to the system for the city. It really hit hard.
So tracing Hitoshi's last movements, on July 1st, it seemed pretty normal at first. He left a disco, maybe around 9 p.m., looked like he was going to meet someone.
Okay.
Then about an hour and a half later, 10:30 p.m., he's seen on CCTV entering that love hotel. It was in the Susukino district, the entertainment area, and he was with a woman.
And the hotel wasn't far from the disco, right? Like a short walk?
Yeah, only about 5 minutes, apparently.
Okay, maybe we should quickly touch on these love hotels again, because they are quite a unique thing in Japan.
Right.
They're not just cheap places for travelers.
Yeah.
Often they're used for, discreet casual encounters. Privacy is key.
And the themed rooms?
Oh yeah, they're famous for that. You could get a room like a train carriage or classroom, even a doctor's office theme. Some offer cosplay outfits too.
Wild.
And like we said, the check-in is super relaxed. So this woman Hitoshi was with, she was wearing a cream-colored top and a very noticeable black, wide-brimmed hat.
Hiding her face.
Potentially. And she was carrying 2 bags, one large, one small. The description made her sound like someone who'd just come from or was going to the airport. Luggage,
Okay, so they go in together. Then what? Well, about 3 hours later, so now it's like 1:30 a.m. on July 2nd, the woman leaves the hotel alone. She tells the staff her male companion would check out later that day, but there's this small detail, but it turns out to be really significant.
What's that?
When she left, she was wearing all black, head to toe, a complete change from the cream top she arrived in.
Okay, that's suspicious. A change of clothes.
Exactly. And Hitoshi, obviously, he stayed in the room well past the noon checkout time, into the afternoon.
Right, which is when the staff started getting worried.
Yeah. That concern grew until finally at 2 p.m. they decided to go into the room. And that's when they found the bed. Well, the scene we already described.
And you mentioned something else interesting. The bed wasn't used.
That's right. The reports say the bed was untouched, which strongly suggests, whatever they were there for, it wasn't the typical reason people use a love hotel.
So the meeting itself might have been a setup, or for a very different purpose.
Seems likely. So back to the police. No ID in the room. They had to make estimations at first. Height, maybe 160 or 170 centimeter age. They guessed around 45, based on a smallpox vaccine scar on his arm.
Wow, using a scar for age estimation shows how little they had.
Totally. But then, 2 days later, they get a crucial break. Hitoshi's wife reports him missing.
Okay. That connects the dots.
Exactly. They could then use fingerprint records to finally confirm the victim was Ura Hitoshi.
And the CCTV footage became absolutely critical then, I imagine.
For sure. It clearly showed Hitoshi and the woman going in together, but only the woman coming out.
And the hat did its job, obscured her face.
Yep. No clear ID from the footage at that point, but it cemented the suspicion, right? The woman who left was the killer.
And carrying those 2 bags.
It seemed highly likely she carried the severed head out in one of them,
Correct.
which is just chilling.
Utterly chilling. And it brings back that question.
All right.
Why take the head? It's such a specific, gruesome act. It points to something beyond just killing, maybe identity concealment or something more symbolic.
Exactly. And the autopsy. It brought even more shocking twists. Cause of death. It wasn't the decapitation. No, it was severe hemorrhagic shock. Basically, he bled out from multiple stab wounds.
So he was stabbed to death first.
Correct. The decapitation happened after he was already dead, post-mortem. And they determined it was done with an electric saw, not a knife.
An electric saw.
Yeah.
Post-mortem. That changes things. That's not rage, that's procedure.
Right. It suggests something else entirely.
Yeah, I mean, performing a post-mortem decapitation with a saw, it's not just hiding the identity, though it does that very effectively. No dental records, no easy facial ID.
Buys time.
Exactly. Buys time. Complicates the investigation massively. It screams premeditation. Almost clinical. Like you said, not a spontaneous burst of violence.
So the police kept digging, tracing Hitoshi's life, his contacts, and they found something significant.
Okay.
Hitoshi had recently been sued by a woman for sexual assault and harassment, and there was actually a court order against him, told him to stay away from her.
Wow. Okay, and this woman was?
Runa Tamura. She was 29 years old.
Runa Tamura. Okay, so the police obviously went to talk to her.
They did. They went to her home on July 24th. She lived there with her parents. Her father, Osamu Tamura, 59, he was a senior psychiatrist. And her mother, Hiroko Tamura, who was 60.
Psychiatrist's father.
Yeah.
And what happened when the police spoke to them?
Well, it was apparently very strange. When asked about Hitoshi's death, the family was just silent.
Right.
Said they didn't want to talk about it, which, immediately made the police suspicious.
Understandably. Refusing to cooperate in a murder investigation involving someone you sued.
Right. So the police got consent to search the house, and in a bathroom on the 2nd floor, hidden away, they found a suitcase.
Let me guess.
Yeah.
Matched the description of the large one the woman carried out of the hotel.
Bingo. And inside, Hitoshi's severed head.
Oh my God. In the family bathroom.
Yeah. So Runa and her father, Osamu, were arrested immediately. Conspiracy murder. The mother, Hiroko, was arrested the next day, alleged accomplice.
The whole family involved.
And then adding to it, a witness came forward, said they saw Osamu and Runa buying an electric saw just days before the murder. And the witness recognized Osamu. He was a well-known local doctor.
Wow. The purchase of the saw ties it together. But the mother, Hiroko, did she say anything?
She did. Her testimony was, explosive. She claimed Hitoshi had actually raped Runa.
Raped her?
Yes. And that he was this cross-dressing predator known in some circles as Tomokang. Apparently, he targeted vulnerable young women.
Tomokang.
Yeah. And Hiroko claimed he blackmailed his victims, Runa included, with videos he'd taken. She said the family had gone to the police before about him, but felt nothing was done.
So they felt the system failed them.
That's the picture she painted. Her quote to the police was chilling. Runa was not wrong to do what she did. She has endured enough.
Wow. That's a powerful statement. Justifying murder.
It paints a picture of maybe a family pushed to the absolute edge.
And did the police find anything to back up her claims about Hitoshi?
Well, parts of it seemed to check out. Police did find staff at clubs who confirmed Hitoshi sometimes went by Tomokang, and that he often associated with younger women.
So maybe there was some truth to the predator claims, but still, it leads to so many questions. If there was a court order, why did Hitoshi apparently keep contacting Runa? Why didn't they pursue legal avenues further?
Exactly, and why resort to such extreme violence?
Yeah. We should probably look into Runa's background a bit more, too. What did people say about her?
Neighbors apparently described her as having pretty severe mental health issues, said she was very reclusive, didn't go out much, and hinted at a difficult childhood.
Any specific incidents?
There was one documented thing from her school days. Apparently, after being bullied, she brought a cutter knife, like a box cutter, to school and actually confronted a boy, threatened him with it.
Okay, so a history of maybe struggling with social situations, stress management, maybe lashing out.
It suggests that, yeah. So with all these pieces, the assault claims, the family's involvement, Runa's history, what are the main theories trying to explain this? It's still so murky.
It really is. And Runa's attorney brought up another strange detail. Her hobby was collecting knives. Not kitchen knives, but like display knives. Over 20 found in her home.
That's odd, especially considering what her mother said about Hitoshi.
But then you have this contradiction. Neighbor said Runa disliked blood. How does someone who dislikes blood carry out such a brutal, bloody murder and decapitation?
Good point. It doesn't quite line up.
And keeping the head in the bathroom. Why? Some psychologists theorize it could be like a trophy, a symbol of revenge finally achieved, which, if true, points to a very disturbed psychological state.
Yeah, deeply disturbing. What about the father, Osamu, the psychiatrist?
His role is really debated. Neighbors called him kind, helpful, but his career path is fascinating, right? Started in internal medicine, but switched to psychiatry.
Yeah.
Reportedly because he feared blood.
Feared blood, a doctor.
Yeah. Which is significant here. It means he likely had the anatomical knowledge for a clean post-mortem decapitation, the planning skills, but maybe not the stomach for the actual bloody act of killing.
So he could have planned it, maybe guided it, but not done the stabbing.
Possibly. And this is where that wild Osamu in the suitcase theory comes in.
Wait, what? In the suitcase?
Yeah, it's pure speculation, but the idea is he might have been hidden inside that large suitcase Runa brought into the hotel to assist her with the aftermath, maybe the decapitation, without having to witness or perform the initial stabbing.
That is a seriously dark theory. But it kind of fits the weird details, the fear of blood, the need for assistance with the body.
It's one way people are trying to make sense of his alleged involvement, yeah.
This whole case, it also echoes some broader issues in Japan, doesn't it? Like the Me Too movement there.
It absolutely does. You can definitely draw parallels. There was a very high-profile case back in 2015 involving a journalist named Shiori Ito.
I remember that. She alleged she was drugged and raped by a prominent TV journalist.
Exactly. And she spoke out publicly about the immense difficulties she faced when she reported it to the police, just trying to get them to take it seriously.
Didn't they ask her to do something really strange during the investigation?
Yes. It was widely reported she was asked to reenact the alleged rape using a life-size doll while investigators watched, which is just incredibly traumatic and questionable.
Yeah, that's awful. So you see a link between her struggle and maybe what the Tamura family felt?
Potentially. If Hiroko's claims are true, and the family felt ignored or disbelieved by the police when they reported Hitoshi's alleged actions, that kind of frustration, that feeling of the system failing you,
it could push people to desperate measures.
It's possible. It highlights how hard it can be for victims to navigate the justice system, especially in sexual assault cases. And it raises that awful question.
Yeah.
What happens when people feel there's no official path to justice left?
So where does the case stand now? This all happened last year. Well, as of late last year, around September 2023, it was still unresolved legally. The Tamura family's lawyers were denying the full extent of their involvement.
What was their defense saying?
They were claiming Runa acted alone. That her father, Osamu, dropped her off at the hotel, yes, but he was supposedly unaware of her actual plans.
Which seems hard to square with, buying the saw together and hiding the head in their house.
Exactly. It raises that question. If the parents were truly unaware beforehand, why allegedly help with the cleanup and concealing evidence so meticulously afterwards?
Good point. So what's the next step?
The most critical thing happening right now, or at least scheduled through early this year, is that all three, Tamura's Runa, Osamu, and Hiroko, are undergoing extensive psychological evaluations.
Okay. That will be key.
Absolutely. Those evaluations started last August 2023 and were expected to finish around February 2024. The results will be crucial for the trial, for determining competency, intent, and potential sentencing.
So the real motives, who did exactly what, the deep psychological reasons behind it all, it's still largely a mystery to the public. We have to wait for the courts.
Pretty much. It's all waiting on those evaluations and the subsequent trial. So this deep dive, it really shows you the extremes of human behavior, doesn't it? The darkness and complexity. And we should be really clear, we're just reporting the facts as known. We don't condone violence in any way.
Absolutely not.
But cases like this, they force you to think about difficult things. Motive, mental health, how the justice system works, or sometimes doesn't work for people.
It really makes you wonder, what is someone's breaking point, especially if they feel failed by the systems meant to protect them? And how do those societal structures influence whether people seek justice through proper channels or take it into their own hands?
Yeah.
There are still so many layers to this case, still unfolding. It leaves you with a lot to think about. About human nature, about the system itself.
We hope this exploration gave you a clearer picture of the facts around this really chilling case. If you have any thoughts on it, we'd be interested to hear them. Thank you for joining us for this deep dive. Please take care, and we'll be back soon with another fascinating topic to unpack.